What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a regular edition of the Chasing Daylight podcast, although we do have a special Canadian that'll be joining us shortly. But until Mr. Janssen arrives, let's do you want to get into a little Masters talk, or you want to wait for him?
I feel like Cyrus is going to come on and want to talk Masters, so we can hold on. We can hold out for that.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, we're gonna start the show over. Okay, good. Well, so let's start with some VGN talk then, since he can't get the weekend pass from the missus to come join us. We can talk about that, and let's do this in grand fashion. Let's start the show off with the weatherman.
What's up, everybody? Matt Guntark back again with the Chasing Daylight podcast. Hey, important weekend forecast. We have our VGN Championship going on April 15th. That's this Saturday, the first major of the season at the Sun Mountain Course at Paiute. That's an 11 a.m. start. Looking pretty good for this upcoming Saturday. High temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s should be great for the tournament this weekend. And even on Sunday, if you're doing a little playing for the second half of your weekend, 83 degrees the forecast high on Sunday here in Las Vegas. Finally feeling like spring heading into the weekend. Until then, have a great rest of your work week.
Is that a forecast of Gonteric getting paid this weekend?
Yeah. He's a he's a transplant.
Well, so he is a transplant from Oregon, but they have
I feel bad
there.
because I didn't listen to that until I started doing the edit, and I didn't have enough time to call him and say, "Hey, do that again," because it's not Paiute, it's Paiute. But that's how you know he's new to the area.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he was filling in on the late night shifts this past weekend, so maybe he's a little tired.
Yes, so he actually got his schedule rechanged and can make it to Paiute now, but we're full. So that's why I've been incredibly explicit in the emails today saying, hey, if you're not going to play, it's an 11 o'clock start. So nobody's waking up at 10:40 and going, oh, shit, I shouldn't go. Well, maybe some people are. But for the most part, everybody should be up and ready to roll. So if you're not going to make it, please let me know so Matt can get in. So are you guys looking forward to Paiute?
100%. I'm very excited.
Oh, dude, I'm so geeked.
It's been a while since I've been out there.
It's been a while since you played golf.
Well, I played 9 holes at the creek last Sunday, but yeah, I'm playing tomorrow, so that's good. But yeah, it's dwelling on me. It's a dark cloud behind my brain that I'm just trying to get. I got to get out. Working on a few things, but I got a net in the backyard now, so just some feels.
You got a net in the backyard? Is it the soccer net?
Yeah. It's a I don't know, whatever. It's a golf hitting net, whatever. Just working on a few things, a few feels. But yeah, I'm anxious to get out and play, and I can't wait to play tomorrow, and I can't wait to get to Paiute because it's been a few months. We were playing there like every single week. I feel like a while ago.
A lot.
And, it's been months since been to Paiute, so I can't wait to get out there. Paiute, sorry.
Yeah, I got a couple messages from people because they showed a video of them punching Wolf.
Yeah,
of Wolf, and
I got
that
one
happened on Sun. Oh yeah, he sent me right away. He's like, dude, dude, they punched, and I was like, well, it's not an aggressive punch. And then he sends me that video, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of an aggressive punch, but they shut down for a week after they punch, so it's not like the course got play, the grass is healing, and I have been assured from the fine folks at Paiute that the course is going to be in great shape. So I am stressedly but not worried. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think Paiute is the one that I'm least concerned about the quality of their greens when they punch.
Yeah, they actually know what the hell they're doing out there.
Yeah,
they do
Not
it
that
right.
nobody else does, but they do it right. So we got I mixed things up a little bit this time. We've been doing tee times based on flights, and the higher handicap guys going at the end. I'm still letting the gross guys go out by themselves in their groups, but the spades, spades, hearts, and clubs, I kind of mixed it up a little bit. We've had a little bit of issues as far as the newer members not being 100% on the rules. So I'll be making another video going out to all the members tomorrow to some clarification on that. And a couple guys have been stuck with the same people, not the same people, but some new players, and they kind of miss some of the old guys. So mixing it up a little bit, trying to change everybody to play with some new people and some old people, and make sure we're all running good out there. So
That was one
forecast
thing
looks
I missed.
awesome. I can't
I kind of
wait.
missed last time was like I didn't play golf for a few weeks, and like I played with a newer guys, and I was like, man, I just want to play with my friends, But it had been a while since I
Yeah,
played
and that's
golf,
that's one of the
so
reasons Jared and Tom didn't come back, because they wanted to play with Dan all the time, and I
mhm.
mean, it's hard to accommodate everybody, especially with this one. I mean, I probably the most requests that I've had for hey, put me at this time, since we started. It's a big event, and so with an 11 o'clock time, that kind of makes it difficult for some people because it's not their typical Saturday golf outing. Normally you're out by 7,
Yeah,
8 o'clock and home by then,
yeah,
hopefully. So it's going to be a little bit different, but hey, it's a major, so we got to change things up a little bit.
and it's
Big points
Paiute,
on the
so
line,
it's
500 big
Paiute.
points. He's never going to live that
No.
No,
down. So we've got 16 groups, I think it is. We go off at 11. The last group goes off at 1:30. 5-hour round is 6:30, and it's still daylight out at 6:30. So I'm not stressed about people not finishing. Paiute is really good about their 10-minute intervals. So we got
Mhm.
groups going off every 10 minutes. Shouldn't be too crowded as long as everybody keeps up their pace. We should be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. This is our, we got 64 people. It's our largest event we've hosted as far as a tournament goes. I'm hoping next year we can say 80. That would be awesome. Get 80 players for a major. Would be
that'd be
sweet.
great.
So, yeah. So hopefully the greens are good, and everybody has a really good time. So I'm looking forward to that. Joe, tell me what you're working on. You said some
Just
feels.
yeah, just a few feels. Just kind of, I have been topping my driver occasionally, and I don't take many divots when I hit my irons, so just trying to stay a little more down um through impact, kind of like, because I kind of pop up a little bit, so I'm trying to drop it straight down instead of. I watched a video about dropping it straight down, so I watched that. That was like 2 weeks ago, and then I was at the Las Vegas Golf Superstore today hitting the new Shrixon driver. Because I had to go get a new
You
glove,
liked
and
it.
over at Paprika Way yesterday with over at Trey, Glenn, and Julian's house. Trey mentioned that they had the new Shrixon over at the Superstore, so I had to get a new glove, so I was like, oh, I'll check it out. It looks great. I think it looks really good. Matte black top, sits a hair open, which I like, and so I was hitting that, and I was just I saw Lawrence over there, um, and he saw me from a distance and went up and said, "What's up?" And he's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I just need a glove," and I was gonna check out the new Shrixon driver. So he set me up in the TaylorMade booth, hitting a Shrixon, which is cool, oxymoron, but I
Mhm.
spent like 15 minutes in there, and I was I was in sandals too. Um, I didn't know I was gonna go over there, but I was just kind of messing
Soul
around, and
golfer.
yeah, soul golfer, link soul sandal
Hmm.
golfer. So I was in there messing around, and I don't know, it just popped in my head like, why are you popping up? Just kind of stay down on it a little bit more. So tried that. It felt really good. Ball speed was up a little bit with the Srixon driver. Not my shaft, obviously. Actually, it was a hazardous shaft, which I hate. But it was looking pretty good. And I came home and I was hitting in the net in the backyard with my lob wedge and my 5-wood, and just kind of trying to, focus on like leaning into it a little bit more and staying down instead of popping up too early. Obviously, the popping up early is probably a little bit of early extension, which I actually do have. I know that. Um, but yeah, just trying to catch a little bit more divot down, impact, compression, stay down on it, and then that's about it. Just kind of like letting the club drop behind me a little bit more and down. So something I've been trying on the net, and we'll see what it does tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
So did you like the Strixon more than your driver, or is
Um,
it too tough because you didn't have your shaft in it?
they look very similar at the top line, and how the face sits very similar to me. Um, and I don't know. It could have been like one of those placebo things where I was like in sandals and I was getting more ball speed with the numbers. I mean, I don't know. Who knows, right?
Joe's gonna come out with
So
some spikes on his Birkenstocks.
yeah, I feel like I didn't feel like I had like as much control as I do with my current driver, but it was not my shaft. So I would be curious to try this Rixon with my shaft and see what it did. Not saying I like it more currently, but
See,
it looks
I
great, and
saw
I feel like it would be an option, but I gotta try it with my current shaft because I love the shaft, and see what it did
I
in
saw
that
I
head.
saw Tice at 5-iron before the couple weeks before the playoffs, and he's got the new paradigm. And so I went and looked at it, and I don't get your beef with it.
Don't like it.
It didn't
I just
seem that different
yeah.
to me at all.
I don't like the color scheme.
Do you think that? But it's the shape, because Joe said what did you say? I can't remember what you said, but you did not like the shape at all.
No, I did not. And I mean, I don't know which one I hit. Maybe they're different. They have, obviously they have different models, but I don't know which one I hit, but I was like, no, thank you.
Well, I haven't. Well, I got a gift from Greenlee coming, and so I'm eager to check that out, because that's one that I've heard some really good things about. The new Gen 6 from PXG. So I got, since I pulled the Ventus from the
I think it's
stealth.
Matt's.
Sorry,
I think
too many thoughts
your
going on in my head right now.
connection's messed up tonight, Matt. It's taking a long time to
Yeah.
get the Wi-Fi out there. Yeah.
See, and you're messed up on my end, as always.
That's because yeah.
It's a cluster kind of a show right now. Sorry, it's the way it is. No, well, Jeremy's got his mic all messed up. You're a pixelated 8-bit Minecraft figure. It's great because before we start recording, you're crystal clear. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
You
to have a
just dropped
sit
out
down
for a
with
second.
Riverside. Wow.
And there's a
Did I
lag
drop
too.
out for you too, Jeremy?
No,
No.
no
See,
dropout
just,
for me.
yeah.
So it's yours.
You got to upgrade that 25 megabyte Cox subscription you have, and get some Gigablast over there.
I got 56K, bro. Don't fuck with me, man.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, so yeah, Eric's bringing one of the new Gen 6 PXG heads with him that I'm going to put in the Ventus Black, because I've got a bunch of PXG adapters back in the day when I played at PXG. So I'm going to put that up and maybe give it a swing while he's here. Check it out for sure. I also got the new PXG balls. Those showed up finally.
Yeah.
I should have brought some to the range today to try them out, but that didn't happen.
Have you played with them at all yet? Putter, chipping in the
No,
backyard, anything?
no, I keep on forgetting to bring them out there. I should go out there and do some chipping with. I cleaned up the green really good today. Beautiful day outside, so I did a little. Since we finally have some spring weather, I did some spring cleaning in the backyard and got some stuff straightened out. So it's looking good back there.
I have seen
But
most people saying pretty good
one of the
things about that
things,
ball.
yeah, I've heard. I mean, Cliff even sent me a message was like, "Dude, it's amazing." So, and that guy was just abandoned for
Abandoned.
3
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
or 4 days. Yeah, yeah. He uh trails is his favorite. Pack a close
Well, that's
second. Think sheep's last. I'm like, we're in the same mindset there, Clippy.
wow. I have to hit him up.
Why is okay? We've talked about this before, but why is sheep everyone's least favorite? It seems like the
I
majority.
don't think it's everyone's least favorite. I think it's some people's least favorite. I think it's the golf nerds' least favorite because it's a.
What do you think it is about that course?
I think it doesn't offer a shit ton of variety and a shit ton of character. I mean, it has character, obviously. It offers some of
I
the
don't know. I
best
think there's a lot of
views.
character on it.
Yeah, but I think it's just kind of like it's a stroll in the park. It's like
Yeah,
say go to your
it's
favorite
not.
park. It's like, you know, and that's kind of what it is. And there's a shit ton of amazing views out on Sheep, but it's kind of like a stroll in the park. That's what I thought when I was walking it. I was like, it's a stroll in the park. It's a great walk. It's amazing, but it's not. It doesn't offer the like crazy greens that you're gonna get at Pack or the big dunes you're gonna get at Pack or like Old McDonald with the greens or the ghost tree and like I don't know, like 16, 17 are amazing. One's a great opening hole. Other than that,
Yeah,
it's kind of like straightforward, like links golf. Like, well, you hit over the coastline too on what is that? 3, 4, 5,
4,
7?
5, 6,
Can't remember.
7, 6. I think. I don't
Anyway,
remember.
I mean that's another great one, but it offers amazing views, but it's not like because it's crammed in on a piece of property that should not probably have 18 holes on it. And Core Crenshaw did a great job on it, like, but it doesn't have that outstanding character on the golf course, like layout, like design that the others do.
There's not a
But it
ton of
hasn't.
memorable holes there.
Yeah, I mean, all the memorable holes out there are on the
It-
ocean,
on the ocean, yeah.
besides
One,
maybe the volcano
uh,
hole.
yeah, 1,
Mm.
3, 16, 17, 9. I mean, that's about it.
And
And
it's pretty easy.
whereas the other
It's like an
ones,
easier golf course. If the wind's not blowing, it's easier golf course. So it's for
oh, if the wind's not blowing, there's no
yeah, the
protection
wind is
whatsoever.
the only defense out there. Obviously there's no like real bunkers because the wind doesn't allow the sand to stay in bunkers. So it's all grass bunkers, but I think the other courses just have so much more character than Sheep does. Sheep has the views,
A lot
but
more character.
the others have the character.
Do you think that sheep needs more time? I mean, I don't know how many revisions they did on the other courses, changing little things, but is it too new,
I
or is it just the
no,
lay, or really it's the
I think
layout from the whole?
it's just the layout. It's
Mm.
like Joe said, they crammed 18 holes into an area that probably should only had 10.
Yeah.
And so you get a lot of the holes you're playing kind of are along the lines of the same terrain. It's kind of like the middle of Valley High where it's all the same. It's not that bad, but some of
No,
those middle holes
definitely not.
they get a little redundant as far as, oh, I'm walking into the wind this way. Oh, I'm walking down the wind this way. Oh, I'm
And it's
walking
kind
into
of
the
like
wind this way.
it's like flatter, and it's because it's a flatter piece of land than the others. It's just yeah, it's just not that it's like repetitive, it just doesn't have as much character on the holes that aren't along the water that the
I
others
think they
do.
could have made that just one of the most spectacular par 3 courses, or even, well, I don't think it's too resorty to go
No.
um, executive, but because that first hole is just, it's so damn special. And then 2 is
Yeah.
okay, 3 is really good, and then
Yeah.
you're just kind of get bland after that. But could you imagine
Yeah.
if like the tee shot or the approach into 1 was a par 3, and then you had, the approach into 16, a par 3, the approach into 17, a par 3. Just you'd have a little bit more walking between the holes. But I think that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's obviously a great piece of land, and it's obviously abandoned. They have great breakfast sandwiches, and I don't know. It's tough because it's obviously not my favorite course there. It's not Matt's favorite course there, but it's still like really good. It's and that's the thing about abandoned is it's like everyone can rate everything differently. It's your own cup of tea, and everything in the Bandom spectrum or the dictionary of Bandon, whatever you want to call it, fits perfectly in everyone's every average golfer or nerd golfer or whoever you are as a golfer. It fits perfectly in your spectrum. Like a lot of people are probably going to shoot better at sheep if the wind's not blowing. So some of them might enjoy it more, some of them might hate it more because it's not that hard, but it's it fits perfectly in the spectrum of Bandon Dunes, the resort. So you'll have to find out next year, but it offers incredible views, and
I'm gonna
it's
make it a
not one
point
to
to make
skip
it
if
my
you go.
favorite course there.
You shouldn't skip any course out there if you go, but because there's incredible
Yeah,
views that you can't get anywhere else on property. That's the thing. It's like I think sheep is the if you want the nature, the visuals, like if you want to be odd, that's where you go. That might be your favorite course. But if you want the golf like hard, like architecture nerd, like you might go to Old Mac, or you might, if you want to be punished, you might go to Pack Dunes, or if you want the nature, you might go to trails, or if you want like links golf, like you might go to Bandon Dunes. That might be your favorite. So it fits everyone's like characteristic in how they are. It's like you're on it, you're in the spectrum of golfers. Like that's one of them's gonna land where they land, and that's some people's favorite because of certain things.
So
But
I told Cliff we're gonna have to have him on to talk about it because you know how he likes to go on about stuff. Um, he said Bandon is special, no question. It's a top resort in the country. The service and luxury levels are clear notch below others like Kohler, Pinehurst, Broadmoor, Punta Mia, and others. Golf, it can't be touched. That said, I could see taking the 4 at Kohler combined with Aaron Hills and having an equally good time. So,
so you
oh
saw,
snap!
yeah, you saw Mark up in here. So
Yep.
let me just do this real quick before I re-announce Cyrus, because I saw you respond to Mark, but the old version of Sheep Ranch was so mysterious and everything like that. Like
Sorry, Jeff.
just said, like killing
Sorry,
the
couldn't
history
resist.
buffs of Bandon.
All 4 of them that
So,
listen.
okay, let me finish it real fast because I think one thing I think with the sheep ranch, like I think it would have been really cool to sustain that like thing that they had back in the day where it was just a bunch of greens and you could pick out your layout, but that's not sustainable for a resort course. But it would have been a shit ton of fun. And I think that would have been better as it is now, but it's not possible on a resort golf resort. Like you can't do that. But I would have loved to play it.
Yeah.
All right, welcome Cyrus. Thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, what's going on?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Hey,
Joe, congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
you got a YouTube award back there?
I do have a YouTube
Oh
award.
wow,
What
look
did
at
you
this
get for your
guy.
YouTube award? We're with
I
royalty here, folks.
Oh, come on. Let's talk about the Masters. Let's go. Come on. Bring me in. What am I missing? Let's
We
go.
haven't said a thing about it, so we were waiting for you.
Yeah, we were waiting for
you
you.
guys are the best.
Yeah.
We
guys are
talked
the
a little bit of
best.
VGN because we know
We were
you're
waiting
not
for
gonna
the
be part
back
of that.
nine, Cyrus. We were waiting for the back nine.
The second nine. No, jeez.
I was at
Oh, what a
Paprika Way
rookie
the other
mistake.
day,
Hey,
and they were. Someone said back nine. I was like, "Hey, it's the second nine. What are you doing?" And nobody at the Masters
Yeah.
viewing party at Paprika Way understood what I was talking about. Augusta does not like it to be called the back nine. It's called the second nine.
But what about Jim Nance's famous quote? Isn't it always, well, friends, the Masters doesn't start until the back nine on Sunday. He doesn't say the second nine on Sunday.
I know, but they don't
Isn't it
like
the
it
back
because
nine?
it sounds like it's
Maybe they
inferior.
fine him.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm yeah, that's fair. That's
There
fair.
was also a
I don't
moment
think it
during the
sounds
broadcast where
inferior.
someone said it's the back nine, and they were like, "Oh no, the second nine." Like they corrected
Oh,
themselves
okay.
real quick. Augusta does not like it being
Okay,
called the
fair enough.
second nine because that means it's second place to the first nine, is what I've heard.
Got you. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I can
Because
see that.
all
The
the
second
holes are
nine.
equal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, and back in the day, the nines were reversed,
that's true.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For the first Masters, I don't know how many Masters. I know that for the first one for sure, it was.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
history question.
Yeah,
When did
totally.
how many Masters were played in the reverse routing?
Yeah. When the original
Well,
routing, right?
might
You
have
can
only
imagine
been the
number one
first.
being 10.
10 was
know?
number one. Wow, that's a
10
way
was
to
number
that's a
one.
Yeah.
that's a trippy way to start a golf course.
That's a firm handshake. I mean,
Yeah.
not that one's that easy. I mean, that's a tough hole too.
Yeah, and I do.
Okay, so
so
let's
they
get
give
into
all this.
what do you want to get into first?
I don't know. I
Wow,
feel like
Joe, you are so behind.
you are very
He
behind.
really is. What's going on?
See, it's not just it's you, buddy. It's you, Joe. He was trying to blame me.
All right, I'll log out, log back in. But I was gonna say some really cool shit, so you're gonna have to
Okay.
wait for me to come back, and don't get too
We'll
far
wait.
ahead of
We'll
what I was
wait
gonna
for
say
you.
because I was hella
I'll
dope.
creatively edit it. What is he doing?
I'm only like 48% uploaded.
Can I kick you out? Can you just go? Oh, that's what he's waiting for. Okay. Oh, goodness. Technology, man. It's awesome sometimes, but at other times it can be a real pain in the dick. Ugh. All right. So while we wait for Joe to return, there we go. Now he's gone. He'll be back. So Cyrus, do you want to get into what happened with the Live guys? Do you want to get into Scotty Scheffler not showing up, Rory showing up even less,
Oh man,
Brooks playing great for 3 days? Wait, so my one of my first things that I said is Amanda Balionis. I'm sorry, she's always going to be Amanda Balionis to me.
Yeah.
She totally dropped the ball. She could have come right out of the gates with a hot take and said, "So has not playing on Sundays this year affected your play today?" And
Right.
I thought that would have been just epic gold TV, but she went the safe route to keep her job.
Right. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think was it her trying to keep her job? I mean, I think that's the question that everybody wanted to ask, right?
Right. That's what I wanted to know.
But I mean, I think in fairness, I mean, I don't really think that really makes much of a difference, to be honest. I mean, these guys have played 72-hole tournaments their whole career. I think it's not really. I mean, let's be honest. Did Brooks Koepka lose this Masters because he's not used to playing 72 holes? I mean, that guy's gone the distance in 72 holes all the time. All these guys. I mean, you look at a lot of the guys on the Live Tour, Sergio and the Lee Westwoods. I mean, all they've done for 20, 30 years is playing 72 hole events.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of know the answer to that, to be honest. I think it's a little bit, I think that's why they decided to take the high road on that. I think it's kind of a lazy question, in my opinion. There's no reason, there's no way that Brooks lost it because, I've been playing in 54 hole events and I wasn't used to He wasn't used to that final 18.
It was a joke. I wasn't serious. It just would have been hilarious to go, how much has not playing on Sundays been affecting you? I mean, and it basically because he did not play well on Sunday.
We're Nish and Chris, two very amateur golfers, on a quest to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland, after Chris set this challenge on a drunken Saturday night in my kitchen. Join us on our frequently humorous journey of a lifetime as we grapple with the logistical and financial challenge of playing some of the best courses in the world, as well as grappling with our games, because let's face it, it's never just about playing. Sometimes the score matters too. Listen to the Top 110 Golf Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I mean, like I was so surprised that miss on one, right on the first hole. Just I've never seen anybody in 9 fairway off the first tee, right?
That was
like
wild.
What was that?
And that was with a fairway
Did he
wood.
switch to? Yeah, right. Because he's hitting driver every day, and then switched to the 3-wood, which I was a little surprised with. Obviously, total different weather conditions. But
when they said it's Sevy's birthday, it's the anniversary of his win, I was like, oh, there's no way Rahm's losing this. There's just no way. That's too much going on.
Well, remember exactly. Remember when Sergio won, right?
Yeah.
It was the same situation, right? It was Sevy's birthday. It was the anniversary. And, I remember that was such an epic duel with Sergio and Rose back in 2017. And, you just felt, I mean, Rose kind of was, I think he was in cruise control there, right? As they made the turn. And then remember Sergio hits it left on 13, like into, he hits it left off the tee into the crap on the left. He finds the ball, punches out, managed to save par or something like that. And, then was able to turn that momentum around. But yeah, I mean, it was, I think the Masters, it always produces this winner it's kind of their destiny. I mean, Jon Rahm, I mean, what a player. I mean, that guy just leading every statistical category. I mean, he just played he was unflappable.
And putted the first hole of the tournament.
That was incredible. That just shows you how good these guys are, right? I mean, that mental fortitude of starting double bogey on the first hole. Jeez. That's incredible. That's a good stat.
Okay, so was it me or was Sergio very absent at the 18th green?
I did not see him because I
did not see him.
Yeah. Did you guys see him?
No.
I didn't see him. Jose Maria was there, and a lot of the other guys were there, but
I'm going to say, that like one of the things that I'm going to kind of give you guys my take on this year's Masters, because obviously it's the first time that we've seen the PGA Tour and LIV back together. Obviously we had a lot of LIV players in the mix. I mean, I think 3 top 5 finishes from LIV with P. Reed, Mickelson, and Koepka. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, there's some awesome golfers on LIV still. So it was awesome to see, this mix and everybody getting back together. I thought for really, I mean, you saw how well received Phil was, right? I mean, he's smiling, he's making birdies, giving the thumbs up, the gallery's embracing him. It kind of felt like we're putting aside the differences, really. And I really thought the culmination of that would have been Sergio on the 72nd green, right there with Jose Maria. And and I was talking to my wife about it, and she's like, well, he's on a different tour. Of course he's not going to be there. And I'm like, that's the problem though, right? Like, you've only had 4 Spaniards that have won it. Obviously, Sevy's passed away now. So you've got Jose, Sergio, and now John. Like, of course you'd want to be there, right? Like, it's your countryman. I just thought, I mean, even if they have some beef, I thought it would have been a great opportunity, because no way John would have, he would have just given him a massive hug, right? I mean, there's no way Jon Rahm would have stiffed him, right? Even if they hated each other, it's like, hey man, no matter what it is, at the end of the day, you're Spanish, right? Yeah. Like, there's 3 of us on this planet that have won a green jacket from Spain, and we're sitting here together. And you just start speaking Spanish, and you give each other a hug, and it would have been an incredible Masters moment and an incredible moment for Spain. I just really, it would have been terrible. And you kind of wonder though, right? Because Greg Norman said if a LIV guy's in contention, all of us are going to be on that 18th green. So like,
and he was.
It's not like Sergio left.
Yeah.
Right. right. Like, I mean, like if let's say Koepka would have been there, would Sergio have been there? Like that was a really missed opportunity, because I think that would have also sent a big signal too. You know, to like, hey, like look at us, like PGA Tour Live, putting our differences apart and finding a way to work together. That would have been a cool scene.
Yeah,
I don't know
it
the circumstances, but if
it
Sergio
could have
purposely
really
missed
leveled.
it, huge ball drop from him.
Yeah, it could have really leveled some of how people see him right now, Sergio. They see him as a whiny crybaby, left for the money, doesn't play good golf anymore, blah 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 blah. And I think him being there to embrace John would have done a lot to rectify his look in the eyes of a lot of people right now. Okay, so 13.
100% agree.
13. The changes to 13. In favor of it? Didn't like it? Jeremy?
How's my lag?
You're better.
It's good.
Okay.
13 was, I mean, I didn't feel like it was that different. We just saw less balls in the trees, in the pine straw. I feel like people were able just to kind of let loose a little bit more and hit driver. But, I mean, they were still hitting it into the greens. You know, longer irons for sure, from what I saw. I saw a couple fairway woods, probably 7 woods, but
was it
honestly, it looked
Chris Kirk that hit it to like a foot with a 3-wood?
Yeah.
That was insane. A 3-wood.
Swear, what up?
Yeah. A 3-wood. When's the last time you saw a 3-wood? You got to go back to the 60s. Last time you saw a 3-wood hit on 13.
Yeah.
I loved 13. I think it played incredible. I think it played the way it was supposed to be designed, like back in the day.
I agree.
And I think you have to really hit a good shot. I was kind of worried from the beginning, like, you know, I wanted it to create the same drama, like, but I think it played great. It asked you to hit a great shot off the tee, and everybody was stuck on DJ's comments, like, I'll probably lay up every day, but DJ's not a drawer of the ball, so it requires a draw off the tee. And then
how about Rahm's draw
if you're stuck on the top of the hill? Yeah. I mean, I think it played incredible. I don't know if we saw, I think it played pretty much the average strokes per hole like that it did last year. When I was watching the coverage, it was really close to what it played last year, but it required obviously a lower lofted iron. So I think it played great, and I think it was a great change by Augusta, and I probably would have been against it in the from my original opinion, but I think it played great, and they made a great decision with that. I think, and it's gonna provide drama in the future. It's gonna play as it's supposed to for a longer period of time. I think it was a great decision by Augusta National.
So Marcus saying, is anyone else surprised Phil wasn't around to congratulate his fellow Sun Devil on the win? Which wasn't his brother a coach for Rahm at ASU?
I thought he was his agent for a while. I know that.
Yeah, he was his coach at ASU.
At ASU,
yeah. Oh yeah,
Phil's brother,
coach and agent. I think. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows if he was waiting for him, you know, where we can't see, but still, I mean, if you're gonna, you know, you're right there by the green is where you're gonna greet these guys, and didn't see him.
You know, one thing I threw out when we were at the Paprika Way for the party, it obviously felt like Phil played a little harder, but do you think that the entity Live Golf offered a bonus to Live players if they finished in the top 20, the top 10, the top 5, or if they won? I would not be surprised if Phil
100%.
made a bonus from Live Golf for finishing second.
I
if
think
Brooks
so.
would have won.
Well, you know what's interesting, you know, with a lot of these guys, I mean, just the way their contracts are sorted out. So I know, for example, when I was working in Hong Kong, we actually represented Li Haotong, who was you know, China's #1 player for a long time, and I saw his deal to his Nike contract, so he got bonus. He got a lot of bonuses built in there based on just actually on official World Golf Ranking points. So every point he won on the official World Golf Ranking was worth X amount of dollars. You know, from Nike, like you get a bonus. So I mean, even, you know, even if you're finishing tied 40th, you get 3 points. Okay, that's worth X amount per point. and then obviously you win the major, it's huge. But I think for example, if he had won a major, he would have got $1 million bonus from Nike. That was in his contract. So something like that. And if he won like a PGA tournament, it would have been this, and if it's a European tournament, it was this. So they definitely very common practice, and I would imagine, especially with Liv, right? They need to have. Yeah. There's nothing better. I mean, this was a great week for Liv. I mean, right, to have 3 guys finish in the top 5. I mean, that's a great finish.
I think it's a great thing for the Liv golfers. I don't know necessarily if it's a great thing for Liv. I mean, it got them TV exposure that they haven't been getting. It let everybody know that they're still a relevant golfer. So
correct.
It helped them with their brand. I still think it's hurting them that their brand is now Liv. But I mean, that may change over time.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, I listened to No Laying Up earlier today, but like to us consumers, it almost felt like Liv versus PGA Tour. Like that's what this Masters kind of felt like as a consumer, because it's kind of hard not to distinguish Brooks Koepka from PGA, Liv, whatever, and Rahm as a leader in PGA. But it was a great thing for golf because we got the top players in the world. And I will admit 100% last week I said, I don't think that these guys have played enough like important professional 72 round golf holes recently. So I did not expect anybody to come out the woodworks. Granted, Brooks was feeling really healthy, but I don't, and that's the thing. It's like it felt like that to us consumers, Liv versus PGA, but that's not really what it was. Everyone was super cordial, and it could have been. It's the media that is pushing it on us. But the media is pushing it on us, but it is a thing. And Phil was the spearhead of this entire thing, so he was very humble in his press conference, though. I think Phil and all the Liv golfers handled it well. And another thing was Brooks Koepka with the Nike contracts. He was the only one not wearing the logo on his gear.
That's true.
Which was kind of surprising.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think, but not to get into politics or anything, but I mean, the media does play that role, right? I mean, they're very dividing, and it is their job to steer up the pot, right? And so
drama.
Right?
It's like all the 13th hole at Augusta.
Absolutely. I mean, you just want to have. They want to create that, so it's always going to be a little bit. But that's where I think it's really good, right? I mean, when it is at the end of the day, it's the Masters, right? We want to have the best players playing, right? And I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like a guy like Brooks Koepka is going to be one of the best. I mean, he should be in the field. He should be playing. I mean, he's talented. He's going to be there. So,
and it was awesome to see those guys back competing against everyone.
It was fantastic.
It was incredible. I mean, it was great.
I mean, I think what would really have shocked me. You mentioned all those storylines that you mentioned to open up, Matt. For me, it's Phil. I mean, 65 on Sunday. At 52 years old, I mean, the guy, I don't believe he's had a top 10 in Liv.
He hasn't sniffed a top 20, I don't think.
He shot 82 for the past year.
Yeah. I mean, but there's something about it. I mean, obviously, he's a horse for the course. I mean, the guy loves
led the field in strokes gained putting.
I mean, it's
just
incredible.
ridiculous. And everybody knows
tape hosel right there.
He is one of the most erratic putters. He's a tinker like me. He changes. He goes with arm lock and then no arm lock, and then
he definitely tinkers. But but Phil's always been a very hot streak. If he gets on a streak, he can just go.
Exactly.
So, right. So it's just peaking, and guys like that. I mean, same thing with Jordan, right? I mean, you just get him on that course, even when he was in his 4-year hiatus, just struggling. I mean, you don't bet against Jordan at the Masters. Like he just, once he gets on that property, hey, this is Augusta. I'm Jordan Spieth. I know, like, this is my place. Same thing with Phil. I mean, they just guys, they love it.
What the hell happened to Rory?
Oh, can I give you my take?
Bob Rotella's stock is dropping dramatically. Rory, did you have to say my name so much?
People are burning his books all over the world.
Yes, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest,
Cyrus.
no, I mean, so this is the stat that was interesting for me. So leading up, I think it was on Tuesday or something, I was listening to Golf Channel, and they said, Rory came in the week prior and he played 81 holes of practice.
Whew.
And I heard this, and I'm not gonna, and I can't remember the year. I'm gonna say probably 5 years ago. I remember literally the same time on like a Tuesday of Masters Week where the guy said, "Well, we've talked to Rory, and he played 101 holes of practice last week." So he has this tendency to. I mean, for me, it's just 100% a mental head case right now for Rory. Right? He's playing fantastic golf. I mean, there's no reason why he should have finished outside the top 10. But for me, it's kind of like you don't need to play 81 holes of golf, right? I mean, every tee shot. You've played that course literally hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think for Rory, it is just the classic case of he just wants it so bad, and I think there's a lot of pressure for him. He was definitely, maybe you could say Scheffler was the favorite going in, but I mean, he might have been number two. I mean, Rory would have been probably the favorite or number two.
It was Scheffler, Rory, and then Rahm.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's right there, and people are, and I mean, he came off of that amazing 72-hole bunker hole out last year, shoot 64 final round. It's like, okay, this is the year that Rory's going to get it done. And what I remember Tiger Woods back in 2019, how he practiced to get ready for that Masters. His last practice day, he went out on the back nine with a wedge and a putter.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Back nine,
that's
right?
what he did on Wednesday.
Right. Yeah, and so I feel like that's what Rory needs to do. Like someone needs to almost sit him down, and it's like, hey, Rory, and it's the same thing. Remember when Tiger was struggling with the chipping and he's in all this stuff, and it's just like, you know what Tiger needs to do? He needs to just go play golf. Yep. And just kind of, you don't need a swing thought, because you know what, you're Tiger Woods. Like, you put a golf club in your hand and look at your target and just swing, because you know how to get the ball there. You can just, you want to hit a cut, just hit a cut. You want to hit a fade, you want to hit a draw, hit a draw. It's Rory's just, he's thinking so much and putting so much pressure on him. He really just needs to, exactly, like, I don't need to practice my tee shots, right? It's almost like a Bubba Watson approach, where it's like, I'm going to go warm up on the range. I'm going to go hit 20 drivers to warm my body up. Yeah. And then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to just do short game, just putting, and just kind of have confidence. Like, hey, I know on one, I'm hitting a cut. I know on two, I'm hitting a draw. Like, I know how to do that. I don't need to go practice the second hole, 7 times before Thursday. Like, give me a break. So that's my deal. Like, he's got to get in that place where he really lets go, and he's just trying way too hard. Now he's withdrawn from Harbour. Now he withdrew from Harbour Town.
Yeah, 100% mental. Like, Rory's a really creative player, as we've seen with a lot of shots that he's hit. And that's what Augusta offers you, is like a palette to be creative. But he is. I mean, it's all mental. Obviously, the dude brought in Bob Rotella this week to be his golf psychologist. Like, it's 100% mental. Like, and that could obviously, like, bringing in Bob Rotella, like, is fuel to the fire. Like, dude, you got to let it go. Like, and he's trying to complete the Grand Slam. Like, I get it, and you're trying to do everything you possibly can. But he would have won last year if he didn't get off to a bad start. He needs to let go. Like, literally, like, just the tension needs to go away. He knows the course. He can do it. Everyone expects him to win, and the Augusta National, like, membership would love to have him as a green jacket holder, but he's just got to let go. And it's one of those things, like, Rory is a connoisseur of the game and a history buff, and he's just got to, like, he's got to feel free. Like, and unfortunately, like, winning the green jacket is what's going to do that for him. And if he does win it, he's going to be unloaded. Like, he might just go on a tear, and it's all mental. 100%.
I think it's we got
game.
Phil, who's never won the U.S. Open, Jordan, who hasn't won the PGA Championship, Rory, who hasn't won the Masters. I mean, there's some good guys trying to close out their career slams or career majors, and you wonder, how are they all
Rahm, who's never won the Open or the PGA Championship? I mean,
well,
there's a lot of them out there.
I'm talking about 3.
Well, a lot of guys got 2 legs.
A lot of guys got 2. No, there's not too many people.
Colin Morikawa's got 2 legs. Rahm's got 2 legs. So, I mean,
Koepka's
those guys
got
potentially. 2. Yeah, Koepka's got 2. And I think with it's tough to see. I mean, it's tough to see Rory struggle that much. I mean, it is just 100% a mental case. I kind of relate it back to Sergio again at the Masters, because I think Sergio, the only way that he was that he prevailed in the Masters, and that, you know, because he was a little bit later in his career, is I think he got to a point where he said to himself, I might not win a major, and that's okay, because you know what, like I've tried my best, I've given it my all, and I've had a fantastic Ryder Cup, I've won a lot of titles, like I've been a great name on the PGA Tour, and you know what, there's other things, right? Like you know, I've got other things in my life, and I think you need to get to that point where, you know, to play, you know, like Rory's got to almost kind of accept the fact it's like, hey, if I don't win the Masters,
It's
that's
okay.
okay. Like
It's
it's
okay.
okay, right? And
Cyrus, have you ever
almost-
heard my line? Have you ever heard my line?
No,
Uh-oh.
It's just a game.
It's just a game.
Sanders.
It's just
a game.
It's just a game. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's a lot of times, you know, like women trying to get pregnant, they put so much pressure on, and then all of a sudden you know, take a holiday, have a glass of wine,
You take
you know,
fucking
boom,
12
you know,
months.
you know,
Bam.
it's right.
Father's Day.
Got,
Father's Day's right around the corner. That's Joe's hot zone.
Bring the soldering gun.
That's when
Yeah.
that's when the
Bring it
baby
out.
making starts happening.
No
Come
mas.
June.
No mas. No mas.
no more. One more.
No.
Celebrate. You celebrate Phil winning the U.S. Open and committing a slam.
There you go. Yeah.
How about if we go? Jordan wins the PGA, Phil goes to get
Wow.
the U.S. Open, and then Rory just is like, FML.
Wow.
So how much do you think on the next live event are they going to be? And the runner-up to the Masters, Phil Mickelson on the tee, and the fourth place finisher Brooks Koepka on the tee of the latest Masters. I mean,
Look, here's the thing about like live golfers placing high in the standings at the Masters. It does not make me want to watch live golf anymore, because I feel like
Not
live
at all.
golf is fucking boring. I'm sorry. It's not entertaining to me at all. Like I've watched it. I try and watch it every time that they're on, and
Yeah,
I just can't get into it. But I mean, I don't feel like them finishing top in the Masters is going to grab more viewership or more fans to that. And Live
No.
has their fans. Live has their fans. Like it's a demographic that they can get, and but they're not going to pull any like hardcore golf nuts over there. It's just not going to happen.
oh, they're going to
Sorry.
try their hardest though.
Yeah, but I mean, half the time I don't even know when they're playing. I don't know when they're on. I don't care. Like I don't think about it.
no, I mean, you know what's interesting? My thoughts on Live is I was quite intrigued in season 1. I mean, like when that first event happened in London, I was tuning in because I was like, well, let's watch this.
Yeah,
Like
watch
this is
it.
quite.
And I was
right?
bored out of my mind.
And then I was watching it along.
Don't
but
hold back,
I
Joe.
mean, but I gotta be honest, man. Like season 2's coming along, and maybe it's just like the venue. I'm like, man, I have zero interest. I'm like, wow, I have not.
Dude,
And
you
how-
even
like-
Cyrus sent me a message. He's like, yeah, Orange County National is not a
Looked
premier
bad.
resort to be
It
playing
looked
golf at.
really bad. Like,
Oh man,
and that's
I mean,
one of
I'm
those
from Or-
things. Is
I'm from
Crooked Cat
Orlando.
looked terrible,
Dude, Cricket Cat is. I mean, to be honest, even
and it's
when they're-
awesome.
I would have rather seen them at Winter Park.
They should
No,
have
I
played
mean,
Panther Lake. Like Panther Lake is
no.
better than Crooked Cat, I think.
I
But
mean, still though, they're such average golf courses, though. I mean,
That's true.
I'm
But they look-
I'm an
but
Orlando
it also looked
native.
bad, though. It looked bad. It didn't look good.
No, it did. I mean, I had a buddy of mine that worked at Orange County National, and he's like, I mean, this is terrible shape, right? The rough is crabgrass everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, it looked like a municipal golf course that's hosting this
did.
tournament. It looked
100%.
terrible. But I mean, but Orlando golf sucks. I'm sorry, I'm from Orlando. It is so average. There's really, unless
Where
you're
should
playing,
they have
you know-
played? Let's take Bay Hill out of the question because you know they're not going to play there.
Well, you
Where-
gotta go
Garden
Islesworth or Lake Nona
Yeah,
if you're gonna play in Orlando.
yeah, Lake Nona. Yeah,
Lake Nona.
LPGA plays.
Yeah,
there,
you know, I'm so. I mean, I would. I mean, I guess. I mean, those are the two courses that you know that they were part of that Tavistock Cup back in the day.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if they have that kind of PGA Tour connection, and they just wanted to. Because, like for example, the reason when they're going to Australia, you know, Melbourne and Sydney, because of their close, you know, especially Melbourne, right? Melbourne's very close with the President's Cup PGA Tour. Basically, the whole government in Melbourne said like, "F no, like no chance, get the hell out of here." Now Adelaide is, you know, their government's like, heck yeah, like bring us a tournament, like we got nothing here, like for sure we'll get behind it. But that's why like it's not in a big city, it's not in Melbourne or Sydney. They're going to Adelaide, and that's going to be a big event for Liv. But I mean, again, it's going to be a big event for the Adelaide golfers. Like they're going to sell that out for everybody in
Yeah.
Adelaide, and they're going to have a great party. But No one's going to watch it. No one's going to watch that on TV.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
going to be
thi- I think-
great for people in Adelaide.
I think
But-
Liv could really do a great job with this like boom in COVID golfers and destination golf if they went and played like Stream Song,
Mm.
Terry Eady.
Oh, Terry
Well,
Eady
they're
be
not going to
crazy.
play Terry
Cape
Eady.
Kid, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if they went to Cape Kidnappers, if they went to
That's true. They'd have to go to some.
Cabot, like,
Yeah, they'd have
if
to go
they
to some
went to
really
the
unique
destination
places.
golf courses that
Yeah.
the COVID golfers see from the photographers on Instagram, like,
True.
that could really boost their stock.
It's
I agree with
fantasy
that.
golf.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause
fantasy golf.
There is
Yeah.
a couple courses like it's
I mean,
unusual.
that's why I watch Pumpkin Ridge.
Yeah,
That's the only reason
Yeah,
why I watch
yeah,
that tournament
yeah.
because I
'Cause
want
I
to see
want to
that golf
play
course.
that course. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I mean, there is some good courses that they have. I mean, they've got Valderrama, probably top course in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Great
forward
golf
to that
course, right? I'm looking,
Fucking
and then
fairways like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they've got also Sentosa, which is the #1 course in Singapore, and I've played that course. That's in my top 10 courses I've ever played. It's a phenomenal golf course, and so like everybody in Asia will be keen to watch that because that's a really good golf course. And so I like it's just hard when you're like, okay, you've got Sentosa and Valderrama, and then where else are we going? Oh, we're going to Orange County National. It's like, like
in Tucson.
yeah, like
yeah,
what was it,
I can
Gallery
grab
Golf
a
Club in
T-Sun like
Tucson?
that.
Yeah, like what is it? Yeah, for like $50. It's
Yeah.
just so crappy. I'm like,
Winter Park
everybody,
9 sells out quicker than that
Want
place.
to let you
9 sells
know
out quick, for
where
sure.
we're playing today on Live Golf? You can play here tomorrow for $49.
Exactly.
Cyrus, do you think we'll see Liv go and get into China?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, unfortunately, with the WGC now, ceasing to exist, that means our tournament in Shanghai that I was a part of for so many years is now finished, which is sad. Such a
Sucks.
good run there. It's a good. Obviously, I'm biased. I really like that tournament. I helped run it for many years, but I think they'd be foolish not to go to China and try to fill that void. And I mean, because there's golf is booming in China
And a large population.
the viewership. I mean, but they would need. I think they'd need. I bet you China would be like, we want one of our boys on there. We need to, and that's kind of how you sell it in China as well, right? You need to have a local favorite that would be kind of involved or something.
Don't
So,
treat us like you
I
did
don't know.
the Japanese
I
team.
would imagine they're having chats though. I would imagine, and who knows? Maybe like Shershan now that the WGC's gone, maybe it's like, well, we still want to have professional golf there. But although I could see them saying no. I mean, they've hosted that PGA tournament for so many years.
What was the
It's kind
demise of
already,
the WGC? Because I enjoyed the events.
I don't know. I mean, it's quite recent, right? I mean, they just announced like the match play this is the last year. I think it was just I think it's really the elevated events that's what's killed it, right? Because you can't have all of these
basically a
events
bunch
plus
of
the majors.
WGCs now.
Yeah, they're all WGCs, right? So they kind of lost their flair. I mean, isn't it weird though that we're going to the RBC Heritage and that's a bigger purse than Augusta? Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's. I kind of thought Augusta might come out and like with a crazy purse, just like, hey, like $30 million purse.
Is
I mean, who knows?
RBC elevated?
It's elevated.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's why
Yeah,
there's so
RB
many damn people in this.
Yeah.
field.
RBC
wow.
Heritage, $20 million purse.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an elevated event, and Rory just pulled out of
Jeremy's played there, right?
I have.
it.
Hey, he
Nice.
played there last year.
I played. I'm so excited to watch it.
Because I was
Oh, yeah,
looking at this, I'm going, why are there so many big names in this? I didn't realize
yeah.
it was elevated.
It's an elevated event. For
Designated,
Wow.
guys.
Or, sorry,
Designated.
designated.
Oh, elevated, designated. It's elevated.
Sure. I like the same thing. Same thing.
Good
John
Lord.
Rahm's playing in it. I mean, that's gonna be it'd be tired.
Right? The Masters champ playing the week after.
Does he make
Whew.
the cut? Does he make the cut?
Well, Rory, wait, is Rory allowed? Well, that's just this year rule.
Rory withdrew.
withdrew.
Yeah,
Rory
but-
withdrew.
He's already missed an elevated event.
Well,
Oh, that's true. I think you can only miss one,
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure if you
maybe two.
I know they changed it for next year.
Hey, Rory's the poster boy of the PGA Tour. He can do
Yeah,
whatever he
he's
wants.
going to be able to
That's-
do what he wants.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it's
true. It
Rory's
doesn't really
rule.
matter.
He
This
can-
is the last one, though. Slap on the wrist, Rory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slap on the
Sin.
wrist.
Don't do
Hey,
this again, buddy.
You know what you need to do?
Yeah.
Hey, Rory, you know what you need to do to make up for it? You need to go to a fall season event and you're going to Vegas. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, that's a great segue because that's what I was going to ask you. What have you heard about the Vegas event? Because it's no longer part of the FedEx Cup.
Well, it is continuing. So we will be hosting a PGA Tour event at TPC Summerlin. The dates are confirmed. So we that is definitely moving forward.
That's good.
That is good. So and I mean, Shriners is really good. They're a fantastic. They're all in. They love the course. They love the tournament. They love everything about it. It's just, I mean, the problem is we're not going to get anybody out here. That's the problem. We're just going to have
crazy. It's fucking Vegas.
And I don't know. I mean, you guys will know this more than me. I've only been here for 8 months, but I guess I was surprised to see just how small the attendance is. I mean, I just couldn't believe that nobody's out there for the Vegas one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not very large.
And I mean, it's not. I mean, we were walking that back nine
they're
together.
Giving
on
away
Sunday.
tickets. They're giving away tickets.
I haven't paid for a Shriners ticket in 8 years.
Yeah, but I mean, remember we were watching Tom Kim in the final group. I mean, us walking around. I mean, there's nobody there.
No,
but that's Tom Kim before Tom Kim in a way too, though. It's
well, no, I mean, he was
witnessing. Yeah, but we're witnessing the stars before there are stars out here, and we need the stars to bring the people, and the stars don't come to Vegas for some odd reason. Like,
but you had
to Vegas,
but you had Cantlay in the. I mean, you had the world number 4 in the
He's
final
fucking
group.
slow, bro.
Oh my god,
nobody likes
that
Cantlay.
was awful.
Nobody likes Cantlay.
Did you see the meme with Jack Nicklaus and Jack? Did you see the meme today? Jack Nicklaus and Patrick Cantlay both teed off at the same time, and they showed what picture of young Jack and old Jack. This is what Jack looks like now.
There was so many. There was like an old couple holding hands, and they were like, they got married when Cantlay teed off.
Oh, man. I mean, actually, and in fairness, I think Cantlay, and I do have to correct my statement because, okay, we had world number 4, Cantlay. That guy's got to be the most boring guy in golf. Like,
He's
no one
terrible.
wants to.
He's the worst. I hate Cantlay.
Nobody likes him. Like,
that's
he's
least
world number
favorite
4.
player.
Who cares? Like, no one gives a crap. This guy could be number 1 in the world. No one wants to watch this guy play golf.
The best thing Travis Matthew ever did was get rid of him.
100%.
He hurt their brand so much.
No doubt. I mean, now he's got DeWalt, right? I'm going straight to Makita. Right? Forget it. I have a DeWalt drill. I am selling that.
I'm going to give it away. Shop bag coming out soon.
I'm going straight to Makita. No more DeWalt. Like, yeah, that is a reverse sponsorship.
Here's the thing, though, is like you said, Tom Kim. Like, Tom Kim this year, if he comes back, will draw more people because
he's now Tom Kim.
Now he's Tom Kim.
Nike Tom Kim.
Yeah, he's Nike Tom Kim.
Oh, is he Nike Tom Kim now? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no more BB Go. It's all swoosh.
Yeah, he's got that Brooks contract.
So there's been a huge stigma in Vegas for many, many years, going back the last 20 years.
Okay.
NC2A hated Tarkanian, 30 years. Hated Tarkanian, didn't like him being in Vegas and the flash and the glitz and everything, trying to be an education school, not a sports school. The NFL, you weren't allowed to say Las Vegas on broadcast. You weren't allowed to talk about the odds. Baseball, even the PGA Tour at times. I mean, you just did not discuss gambling. Now, everybody's doing it. We're hosting the Super Bowl. We're hosting F1, right? The Aces won the World Championship. The Raiders are here. It's a sports hub now, a crazy sports hub, but nobody wants to come play golf here. Does the sponsors of the players have anything to do with that, do you think? And is it so money driven that these guys aren't even going to look at a tournament unless they're guaranteed they're getting big paydays?
I think it's the scheduling. I think it's the time of year. I think that's the biggest problem. I think people have been grinding.
It's the best time to golf here.
For sure, yes, definitely.
It's the best time to golf in Vegas.
Yes.
But it's the worst time of the year to play golf as a professional.
They've been grinding for 9 months, and those guys they're staying at home, practicing, they're being with their families. I think if they were to move it to the spring, I think it would be a totally different thing.
Hopefully this statement will bring more of them out. So I'll say anybody that does not come hates the kids.
Hates the kids.
Yeah.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids, Brooks and Phil and Tiger and
Brooks and Phil. What do you want to Live to come?
Anybody.
I
think we'll see Live here eventually.
That
Hey,
would
be
some drama out there.
That would be good, actually. Like for the PGA Tour to help sell it out, be like, we're going to allow Live players to play some events, just to boost up that attendance.
Just in Vegas. Never mind.
It might turn into a Live event. It could turn into a Live event.
It might. I mean, geez.
It could.
No.
I mean, I think, but the
No,
problem
stop
is
it.
you can't host it in the spring because of the winds, right? That's the issue.
Tough shit.
You can't host. You can't host. No, I mean,
Oh,
but,
well.
but you think about like you get TPC at like a 12, 13 on the stem, and then you add in 30
That's
mile an hour
true.
winds that is not uncommon in a spring day. You know, then it becomes the course is unplayable, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's that because I talked to our head pro about that because and he's just like that was his biggest thing. So I agree with Jeremy.
They
He just said,
make those greens not 13s, and just
yeah, but then the problem is you make the greens 9 to account for the wind, but then the wind doesn't come. Now you got 9.
Now
roll
you
them
got
like a
45
son of
under
a bitch
par.
the day before.
it's
Hey,
very
we're gonna go roll the green before you hit your approach shot, please. Oh, hang on a second.
yeah. I mean the issue is it's a good course. It's Vegas.
Great course. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean it's hey, we should all go play it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Yeah.
We're
No, I mean,
walking though, right?
Well,
We're gonna walk.
funny.
Gotta walk, right? You guys like
Yes.
walking?
We're
I
walking.
love walking.
Jeremy's just backed out. He just sent me a message.
Jeremy's
Mental
like,
message.
Dude,
I need to get some
Summerlin
Tomo
is a
shoes
great
first.
walk.
it's a great golf course. I love walking
It's
there.
a great walk.
It's a good walk. It's a
Yeah.
great walk. All right, so Cyrus,
Yeah.
we've talked about this a little bit.
All right.
What is a solution for the fall events to make them more appealing to get guys to play in them? So this is my suggestion.
We don't even know what's happening with them.
This is my suggestion.
Yeah.
You take the guys that lose their tour card because they didn't finish in the top 125 of the season that were on the PGA Tour, and you take the top guys from the Corn Ferry that didn't get promoted, and you have a match play event every week. It's a match play event, and they eliminate players, and then the winners get back on tour.
No, don't they already have something similar to this? Didn't they do something where it's like if you finish 126 to 175 plus if you're on the Corn Ferry, then don't you go into like a 3 event playoff? Something wasn't that?
Mm-mm.
Didn't it?
No, if you don't finish in the 125, you go to the Corn Ferry Tour.
So you just get deregulated. You get regulated.
You get regulated.
Yeah. It's not elevated. You're getting regulated.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see, right? Because, this is a bridge year for the PGA Tour, right? So they've got to figure out what are they going to do. I mean, they're going to shift back to they're going to get rid of the wraparound. So, I mean, I guess it's really,
coming.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's just really, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that because I don't know the full picture yet. I don't know what their vision is for this and how they want to have is it going to start?
It's got to have some meaning. Otherwise, nobody's coming.
Yeah.
End of story. If it's, and right now the driving force behind everything is money.
Or FedEx Cup points, right?
Or
FedEx Cup. I think that's what we had. Like we had Max Homa here and Ricky, and we actually had a pretty decent field last year, right? Yeah, Jason.
It's gotten better every year for the past 4 or 5 years.
And now it's gonna take a dump.
That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
Yeah. But there's got to be some reason for these guys to come. And I mean, can you award them FedEx Cup points for next season? Like, it's not a wraparound, but it's kind of a wraparound. There has to be something of value for them guys to come out.
Well, I think for the big players, like if you're looking at it, unfortunately the kids, that's not going to do it, Joe. I think, for guys like, let's say the Max Homas and, the Kentleys, because Kentley's that's an event that he's would like to play. I mean, he's the all-time leading money list winner at this event. He's a horse for the course. I mean, he always plays well 100%. Here. So, but I think if you don't have, he doesn't really need to be playing for the money at the moment. It's more of like probably just to jump on that FedEx Cup, right? If I can pick up a win, hey, I play fantastic at TPC Summerlin. I can pick up a win, grab those FedEx Cup points. If they don't have any FedEx Cup points, we know the purse isn't going to be anything crazy. So. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to it's
going to be the DeWalt Championship.
Have you seen anyone out there playing recently that we wouldn't know, like Seamus Power that is a Las Vegas resident now?
I saw Seamus at TBC Vegas when I back last summer. I saw him one day, but I did see Morikawa was out at Summerlin a couple weeks ago. He was out there putting
with his Summit bag.
with his Summit bag. Yep, he did. He definitely had his tour bag with him. So I mean, he was out there putting. I mean, we've seen Harry Hall was there just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, we did have. I mean, I don't know if I told you guys this. We did have Kurt Kitayama play in our Skins game, our Friday Skins game, the week before he won in Bay Hill. So
nice.
And actually, that was a legit Skins game. So I pitch up, and we've got the entire University of Florida golf team on the range, hitting balls. They were getting ready to play in the Southern Highlands Invitational. And then one of the kids there, he's from China, and he won the Asia Pacific Amateur not once but twice. So he's played Augusta.
Wow.
He's played 2 Masters.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I knew him from China, so I went over to talk with him. And then it's kind of hard for me, all those Gators out there. I'm a Florida State guy, so I mean, I had to see the Florida Gators repping. But anyways, we had all of the golf team in our Skins game, plus Kurt Kitayama. So needless to say, I added my $20 in for the Skins, and I walked away empty-handed. So, but I would like to say that I did help. I want to say I had the kind of a partial assist, for Kurt Kitayama. He won my $20, and then the next week in Bay Hill won $3.5 million. So,
send me an umbrella, Kurt.
Yes,
get Cyrus an umbrella, Kurt.
Yeah. If you're listening, Kurt, I need just a little shout out, a little umbrella, a little Arnie love. I mean, I'm Orlando boy,
All right.
So,
all right. Well,
good.
let's get into the RBC Heritage. Joe, you want to bring up the odds?
I'm getting it ready right now,
and we'll talk about this. This is probably the greatest field this tournament's ever seen, right?
100%.
So.
I mean, without a doubt. None of these guys are going to play. Going from Augusta to this, it's going to be
This
interesting.
was one of the events that I was very surprised. Like, why would you make the event after the Masters an elevated event? It doesn't make sense to me. I think there's a better, I mean,
well,
why
it's
not
all
Vegas?
Who ponied up, probably.
Why not Vegas?
RBC definitely ponied up.
RBC does. I mean, they picked up a lot of new guys. I saw a lot of new RBC flags on the shirts.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't talk
DJ,
about real
they had all
quick?
that DJ money. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Zalatoris. Out for the
surgery.
Season. Yeah.
Out for the season. Man, that guy just looks painful when he swings a golf club. The way he twerks that back.
Sam Bennett. Watch out, please.
Yes. Oh.
Whoever is teaching that motion.
I didn't know he had a logo either.
Oh, I wonder how much do you get? I wonder how much Sam Bennett got paid this week.
Well, he's NIL, man. It's
awesome.
He had sponsors on his chest, but I mean,
he put a thing out on Instagram and Twitter thanking all his sponsors.
Oh, for sure.
The same thing in the U.S. Amateur last summer too.
Johnny O.
Johnny O's paying him. He definitely had a bank. He had a bank sponsor, which was great.
Yeah, Veritex.
Yeah.
If you see a brand on a player's shirt, do you guys look them up?
I have before.
Like the brand or the player?
Yeah. Or the brand or the bank or the nutrition sponsor or whatever it is, that's something you've never heard of. And you see a player in the Masters or whatever the tournament is, do you look them up?
Yes, I have.
I don't.
No.
I did look one up. Patrick Reed, when he was doing what was it, like some tax firm?
Tax Slayer.
I looked that up because of the name, but yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I looked up Sam Nutrition on Sam Bennett's shirt, obviously. And one Max Homa, like he had a cloud 5'9" cloud or whatever it was. I looked that one up, but I was curious when I was doing it. I was like, do other people do this?
We've talked about this. Remember
Yeah,
we were talking about
it's
Homa's, what's his other logo? ADT? Or not ADT?
ADP. I know ADP.
Yeah, ADP.
Yeah, I've used that.
Yeah, nobody's looking up ADP because Max Homa's wearing it.
Yeah.
Actually, I did. That was the one I looked
up. Did you really?
I did. I swear. That's the one. No, because I swear that was the one I looked up because I'm like, that's a good sponsor. I mean, like that's a big, big name. Like Hama's really done well, and like that's a good sponsorship for ADP. But I'm like, but yeah, I mean, you wonder how much is that really valuable? You know what's valuable? You know what is valuable with that is that when you get that sponsorship, what it does is you have to, as the player, you commit to doing at least like probably a minimum of 2 corporate days per year. And
Yeah.
so, you know, you're
Yeah.
bringing in 20 to 30 VIP clients
Mhm.
that it's like, hey, come to this golf course. Max Homa's going to do, you know, a 1 hour clinic. He's going to
Yep.
take photos. He's going to sign hats, and then he's going to play a hole with every group.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes valuable for the
100%.
brand. Not like, hey, out of these 4 guys that watch golf, how many of them looked up our logo? Are we going to be able to convert any of them into customers? No, it's a little bit.
Yeah,
but
'cause
you know,
I don't have
and
a
all these companies
payroll
got
that I'm
cash.
trying to get ADP on. Like, you know, 90% of golfers don't have a payroll that they're trying to.
Yeah, you know, because I did some work with AP, the watch company, and so
Mhm.
they've got a great sponsorship, right? And it's they always get the sleeve, and
Yep,
they
always.
and their big deal is they don't pay those guys anything. They only
Pay 'em in
but the thing they pay them. They get 2 watches,
Yep.
and the thing is like the watches. I mean, you think about it, right? If it's like, oh, you're gonna have a sleeve. If you're like Rory McIlroy, right? He had the AP watch for a long time. You know, if you're gonna have that sleeve, you know, I mean, if you get 2 watches, so I mean, they might give you like a $30,000, $50,000 watch. Obviously, that's a lot. The interesting thing is like these guys, even though they could afford to pay it, they just didn't want to. It's just something about getting that $50,000 watch.
Oh,
You know,
for
they don't want to
free,
pay for
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
so you know, but they'd be like, yeah, give me the watch. I'll do like 2 or 3 corporate events per year, like whatever. I'll just do the watch. Although,
Yeah.
like, it might be better for them to just say, screw it.
It's funny how like
buy it.
golf and watches kind of go together. I'm not a watch guy at all, but
Yeah.
like it's hand in hand for a
Big
lot of
time.
the world, and I don't get it. But I got a phone. I got an iPhone.
I
That's
think
what
the
people-
watches become so popular because, you know, for men, you can't really wear a lot of jewelry, right? Like that's your one thing. Like the women got all the jewelry they can wear, right? But men, it's like if you're gonna have one thing,
I don't
have a
know.
watch.
You've seen people walking around lately? A lot of people wearing a lot of face jewelry.
A lot of face jewelry?
Oh my lord.
I don't know. I don't hang out with the cool kids like you do.
No, just go walk the strip one afternoon. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I haven't been down there in a long time.
Ugh.
No reason to go. All right,
No.
let's get into the odds
All
for
right,
the
let's get in the
RBC Heritage. Your favorite is John Rahm, 8.5 to 1. Scotty Scheffler, 8.5 to 1. Patrick
Stuck on
Cantlay, 12 to 1. Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, 18 to 1. Hovland, Cameron Young, 20 to 1. Xander Schauffele. This is crazy that these guys are playing this, 22 to 1. JT, Tony Finau, Sung JM, 25 to 1. Max Homa, Matt Fitzpatrick, 28 to 1. Shane Lowry, 30 to 1. Ricky Fowler, 55 to 1. Keegan Bradley, 75 to 1. Tom Hoagie, 85 to 1. Seamus, 100 to 1. Cameron Davis, 125 to 1. Joel Damon, 150 to 1. And we'll go all the way down to the bottom at 400 to 1. Kramer Hickok, Matthew Neesmith, Patton Kazire, and Mark Hubbard.
Well, I finished dead ass last because my player I
This is
picked
crazy.
finished
This is a good
dead
field,
ass
man.
last.
This is gonna be fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
We haven't seen a field like this out here. This is gonna be
Never.
really fun
Never.
to watch.
Never.
Tight course.
Jeremy had Scotty Scheffler. Joe, who did you pick? You picked Xander. Who finished
Yep.
higher? Let's see. Hang on a second.
Tied. It was tied. Can't
Let's
remember.
see. Where is? Here we go.
This field is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It is crazy.
I think Xander finished higher. Just a few. Actually, no, they were both tied for 10. Tied for 10th.
They were both tied for 10th?
Told you
Yeah.
tied.
All right, so who had the best last round? Scheffler,
Jeremy, you can
70.
have it. Jeremy can have it. It's
Dude,
fine.
yeah, I'm not going to lose another tiebreaker. I'm not going to do that.
Good. Jeremy wins it. Jeremy wins it. In a
Jeremy is
tiebreaker, Jeremy wins it.
Tiebreaker loser champion.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my boy Spieth defending.
Yes.
Ooh.
Love that call.
I think he's just going to, every year, he's just going to win the RBC. That's what he's going to do from here on out.
Oh, dial it in. Well, hopefully it's RBC and then a couple weeks PGA.
Yes,
Let's go.
that would be good.
Let's see. So Jeremy Spieth, what's his odds, Joe?
18 to 1.
18 to 1 for the defending champ. All right, Joe, you're up.
All right, just to get some bonus points, and I'm gonna go higher than 25 to 1, of course, 100%, and to get a little redemption because he was pissed, obviously, on 18, very pissed, because he let Tiger in. I'm gonna go with JT, 25 to 1.
25-1, Justin Thomas. Wow, there's your
You don't see
register.
JT. You don't see JT that high in the odds.
That is
Very
high
often.
for JTA. 25-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's very high.
That's a lot of people in this field.
We call that value.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Colin Morikawa on
Vegas boy.
where
Yeah.
there it is. Oh, yeah.
3 to 1.
Stop it.
18 to 1.
3 to 1. 18-1. All right. Cyrus, anytime we have a guest on, you get to make a pick, and if none of our guys make the field or makes the cut, we get your pick.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna go with
little pressure.
Little pressure. All right, I'm gonna go with JT Poston.
Oh, the postman. Where is he?
You never know.
He's a Georgia product, isn't he?
I think he is.
75 to 1.
Southeast.
75 to
That'll
1.
be
All right.
that'll be a big bonus if someone gets him.
Yeah.
All right. Just you know, you never know. I mean, I think he's you never know. He's had
He's just
3 top
he's a
10s
John
in 4
Deere kinda
appearances. 3 top 10s in 4 appearances at Harbor Town.
Wow.
So
So Scotty Scheffler, according to Data Golf, has the best chance to win this tournament. How well do you think he bounces back from his? I mean, his putting is what really let him down at Augusta.
Yeah, I don't
definitely.
think he didn't play terribly. He just
No, he didn't putt well at all, and he
burned
finally
a lot
started
of edges.
rolling it on Sunday. Do you think it's a good thing that he got a little bit of humility for a tournament that he was, coming in hot and projected to win?
I think he's already humble.
Yeah, I think.
He's
I
so
mean, to be
humble
honest,
already.
I watched that first round of Scotty, and it was interesting because I think he shot 4 under, but he really putted bad. I mean, it was, so his ball striking was there, but I mean, just over. I don't know. I mean, he did pretty good, but it's just more the one thing. I think he bounces back very strong. In fairness, I think he's going to be very motivated, and
I love how your guys' first comment was that Scotty Scheffler is humble. Because I think that too. I think that too.
He definely is. He's
very humble, right? He seems
so
like a
down to
really
earth.
good guy, right? But I'm not working until May 1st, and I'm going to give a shout out to my sales manager at work, Fernando, because I know he listens. He's like,
Thanks
he
for
just
listening,
seems like a dick. I don't see how someone could think Scotty Scheffler seems like a dick to me. Like, he seems like a really good dude to me.
So hear this out.
Right?
So watching on Sunday, Erica, she's always been a Phil Mickelson fan, so she was happy to see Lefty doing well, right? So she's like, so this is the guy from the Netflix thing, right? The one that everybody doesn't like. And I went, no, that's Scotty Scheffler. And she goes,
so she thinks he's Brooks.
She doesn't like him for some reason, just like what you were saying. How
She doesn't
Fernando
like Scotty?
yeah, and I'm like, how did you come across with it? But she's like rooting for Brooks, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You got it backwards. You got it backwards. But no, I mean, she watched it, so she was like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
everyone's entitled to their opinion, 100%. It's just,
even if they're wrong.
It's just interesting to me, like, like obviously some players have rubbed me the wrong way in certain situations, and because I obviously watch a lot of golf, and I tune in, and I'm on Instagram, and I see what other players do, but it's funny, man. I mean, the human condition is interesting, but yeah, shout out Fernando. Thanks for taking care of the workplace while I'm gone. But yeah, it's just interesting,
Good. All right. Let's bring it home. Cyrus, thanks for hopping on with us.
I appreciate it, guys.
It's always a joy having you on here, and your knowledge is amazing. So
you guys are so kind. Hey, I do have one last thing. I'm looking at sportsbusinessjournal.com. And this guy says in this article, Sam Bennett, he could not collect any prize money from the Masters appearance, but he probably secured 7 figures in future NIL endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Well, dude's going pro. Like he'll be pro.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So this
Wow.
that is pretty cool. I'm glad these guys are getting paid. I mean,
and I loved how
congrats.
he was playing in the Aggie Invitational today, where he had to carry
Yeah.
his own bag and
Did
played
he actually
36
play?
holes.
Do we know that? Did
I
he
don't
play?
know that, but he said he
I
was
thought
going to.
I thought he did. Aggie. I know the
Aggie.
we also have the Western Collegiate over at Pasatiempo.
Yeah,
You need to check that out. That's amazing.
One of the greatest back nines in golf.
That is
LPGA
truly
in Hawaii. There's a lot of good golf going on.
always. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Hey, don't hang up quite yet, Cyrus. We got to make sure that it just it uploads. So don't bounce yet.
I'm ready.
Joe, go ahead and bring us home.
I'm gonna do one more quick shout out. Rob mentioned it. Seamus Power back-to-back aces. Very memorable moment in the par 3 contest this weekend.
That was really cool.
Incredible. I watched like all the coverage, and that was a really cool moment. Shout out Seamus Power, Vegas resident. And until next week, thanks for tuning into the Chasing Daylight podcast. Thanks to Cyrus, Janssen, PGA. We are in the building, and we can't wait to get out with you next weekend.
420.
Can we buy one of those 2-member hats? Because I want one of those. All right, I'll take that as a yes. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in, Chasing Daylight podcast. Tell your friends, tell your family. We are here every single week for your golfing pleasure, and we rep Vegas hardcore. So we'll see you next weekend. Later.